Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girdharadhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girdharadhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girdharadhari. Gopi Janavallabha. Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana. Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana. Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana. Jaisacinandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, Radhanath, Radha, Radhanath, Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardha, Giri Govardha, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardha. Jaya Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare, Jaya Gaura Hare. Eta Gaura Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Gaura Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Shri Radhanath Ke, Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu Gaurhari Ki, ISKCON Foundation Shri Prabhupada Ki, Shri Krishna Book Ki, Shri Prabhupada's Transcendental Purports Ki, Jai. Go Premanandi, all glories to the simple devotees, all glories to the simple devotees, all glories to the simple devotees, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. Slow to sweet, Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So we'd like to welcome you to this Sunday morning class, which is, we're reading from Krishna book, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are on chapter 48. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we'll just recap for those who are coming for the first time or not following the sequence of the story. The Krishna and Balaram were invited by Kamsa to come to Mathura. Mathura is a big city, and Krishna and Balaram, they like in a rural, they don't know what city life. So for the first time, they are going with their uncle Akrura in this big chariot, and they seeing all the sights and they're taking it in, very excited like young boys. Huh? And they come through they see, first person they encountered was the washerman who was washing all the fabric, and they have a kind of thing with him. And then they meet a florist who was all under the employ of Kamsa. Kamsa is the king of Mathura, and they all working under his direction, these different. And then he meets a woman, she's described as a society woman, Kubja. And she was very hunchbacked. Krishna has noticed she's hunchbacked, but she's carrying very nice sandalwood to offer to Kamsa. So Krishna approached her and he said, "What are you carrying there?" He's praising her. And then she said, "I have this beautiful sandalwood for the pleasure of my Lord." So Krishna saying, "Why don't you offer it to me?" And she very spontaneous, and she said, "Yes, I will do that." And she offered this sandalwood, decorated both of them nicely with sandalwood, and very smiling and very happy to do that service. And Krishna was very inspired. Of course, Krishna accepts whatever we do for him, whatever little we do for him, he accepts it. Prabhupada is given with pure love. And he noticed that she was giving it with pure love, pure affection. But she also had a desire to enjoy with Krishna. Seeing this beautiful boy, she was attracted to him. And so Krishna, the first thing he did was he straightened her up. He made her body, and she was restored her beauty again, From this hunchback woman, he restored her beauty to a normal, beautiful girl. And he promised her, "Yes, I have business to do in Mathura. When I'm done, I'll come and visit you, for sure. For sure, I will come back." So, and she said, "Yes, you're most welcome to my abode, and I will treat you very nicely, hospitably." So we know Krishna then went and he fought with Kamsa, and the whole agenda was to kill Krishna and Balaram. So Kamsa, his devious plan to get these boys pulled by very powerful wrestlers. But Krishna and Balaram, they overcame these wrestlers, and they even, as a picture, Krishna is killing Kamsa, isn't it? His own uncle, kind of. Yeah. Kamsa is related on his mother's side. So in one sense, he was like a rebel, treated like a rebel in the city of Mathura because of they thought that was sinful, killing his uncle. But Krishna comes, we know for what he comes. In Bhagavad Gita he says, "Yada yadai dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat. Parichanaya sadhanam vinasaya chaduskritam." Whenever there is a decline of irreligion, I come to restore that. And I come parichanaya sadhanam to protect my devotees who are being harassed by the duskriti, the miscreants, or the evil kings like Kamsa or Ravana, when Krishna comes as Ram, or Krishna comes as Narishingadev to kill Hiranyakashipu, isn't so? All the agenda is the same, to protect their devotees. Yeah, so the devotees were being harassed. Devaki, Krishna's parents in Mathura were in prison. They were imprisoned. And Krishna, when he took birth, when he appeared, they had to take him away for fear of Kamsa to Gokul by his father Vasudeva. Took him away, and then so Krishna grew up with Mother Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj in a rural place, in a farm. Cowards, they were cowards. Vaishyas, produced butter, milk, like that, mercantile kind of family he grew up in. And then also with Balaram, they enjoyed wonderful pastimes. We read so many of fighting with Kamsa. When Kamsa heard that Krishna is alive, then he was sending so many demons, isn't he? Sent. Even when Krishna was 3 months old, he sent Putana, a Rakshashi. Now Rakshashi can have this, they can disguise themselves. And she was expert in killing young children, drinking their blood. She was a witch, in other words. And Kamsa employed her, yes, go, find this boy and kill him. So she went. But when she went there, she was disguised as a very beautiful woman, as the goddess of fortune. So when they saw the household, she was in the house of Nanda Maharaj, and they all were taken by this beautiful woman. She captivated them, and and they even let her carry Krishna. But she came with the agenda, isn't it? The agenda was, when no one around, she was going to offer a breast, which was full of poison, kalakuta, means poison, enough poison to kill like 10,000 elephants. And this boy is only 3 months old. That was a plan. But she offered, when she was alone, she thought, now I can execute my plan. And she offered a breast to Krishna to drink. And Krishna, he opened his eyes and he saw mother. He saw in the mood of a mother offering a breast. But same time he realized, yes, she has come with agenda. And he sucked out her life. We know the story. And she was killed by Krishna when he was only 3 months old, as a baby. So this is God. God is omnipotent, is all-powerful in any form. Even as a 3 month, he had all the potency of being God. He did not grow up and develop some yogic power, or by some austerity to become. No, he was God. He's always God. God is always God. God doesn't become God. And we should realize that. God is always God. So even as a 3 month old, he showed the potency of being, and so many other demons followed after that. So Kamsa, of course, throughout we read so many demons came, Agasura, Aristasura, Denakasura, the Kalyas, serpent, so many, Baki, what is that stork demon? What is it called? Bakasura. Actually, Bakasura and Putana were brother and sister. If you didn't know that. Bakasura but later I'm going to quote one verse from Uddhava's. I'm going to speak about Uddhava also, how he comes in the picture. So yeah, Krishna he's done his business. In this chapter we're reading, I'll read this. It's a few pages and we'll talk about it. For days together, Krishna heard from Uddhava all the details of his visit to Vrindavan, especially the condition of his father and mother, and the gopis and the cowherd boys. Lord Krishna was fully satisfied that Uddhava was able to solace them by his instructions and by the message delivered to them. So, Jai Sri Sri Radharanath Ki, Sri Giri Raj Govardhan Ki, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Sri Prabhupada Ki. Lord Krishna then decided to go to the house of Kubja, the hunchback woman who had pleased him by offering him sandalwood pulp when he was entering the city of Mathura. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna always tries to please his devotees as much as the devotees try to please Krishna. As the devotees always think of Krishna within their hearts, Krishna also thinks of his devotees within himself. When Kubja was converted into a beautiful society girl, she wanted Krishna to come to a place so that she could try to receive and worship him in her own way. Society girls generally try to satisfy the clients by offering their bodies for the men to enjoy. So you get a picture what comes, Kubja was a society girl, kind of, in layman's terms we say a prostitute, isn't it? But nevertheless she approached Krishna. But this society girl, Kubja, was actually captivated by a lust to satisfy her senses with Krishna. When Krishna desired to go to the house of Kubja, he certainly had no desire for sense gratification. By supplying the sandalwood pulp to Krishna, Kubja had already satisfied his senses. On the plea of a sense gratification, however, he decided to go to a house, not actually for sense gratification, but to turn her into a pure devotee. So Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 4 types of Chatur Vida Bhajante Mam. Says 4 types of pious people approach me. They have some material desires. They have some material. One who is seeking wealth, one who is distressed, one who is out of curiosity, and one who is genuinely seeking knowledge. These 4 types mentioned in chapter 7, Bhagavad Gita. So we may approach Krishna in that way with some material desire. But Krishna will purify us from that material desire, knowing what is good for us. Like a parent knows what's best for a child. So Krishna is our Father. He knows what is we may desire, something which may not be detrimental for our spiritual advancement, like that. So Krishna, even if we come with such desires, gradually we become purified of that. And we know many examples in the Bhagavatam. Dhruva Maharaj had great desires. The Gajendra, the elephant, out of distress, he approached the Supreme Lord. The Kumaras, out of curiosity, and the sages of Namasaranya, they wanted to hear about Krishna, the pastimes. And gradually, as they heard Srimad Bhagavatam, they got purified from just by hearing Bhagavad Katha, just by being in association of seeing the deities. We get purified, not knowingly, just coming to the temple and hearing something, chanting, or taking part in the kirtan, or taking prasadam. These are all devotional activities. What to speak of becoming serious devotees? How much more Krishna will? Krishna is saying, Yayatamam prapadyante. As you surrendered to me, I reward you accordingly. To that degree we surrender. So proportionally Krishna will surrender, will give himself to us to that degree. So what to speak of the pure devotee who 100% engage in the service of the Lord, who's on his behalf, he goes and brings back all the conditioned souls to Krishna consciousness. How much more Krishna, there's none so dear to me in Bhagavad Gita as one who speaks my glories. In the end of Bhagavad Gita, he glorifies such persons, isn't it? There's none so dear to me than one who speaks my glories. Yeah. So yeah, this is also, Kubja is, although she has material desires, some lusty desires to fulfill, but Krishna, he didn't come with that agenda to enjoy with her in that way, in a perverted way. No, he came to purify and liberate her from her lusty desires. Yes. Krishna is served by many thousands of goddesses of fortune. Therefore, he has no need to satisfy his senses by going to a society girl. But because he is so kind to everyone, he decided to go there. It is said that the moon does not withhold its shining from the courtyard of a crooked person. Similarly, Krishna's transcendental mercy is never denied to anyone who has rendered service unto him, whether through lust, anger, fear, or pure love. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is stated that if one wants to serve Krishna and at the same time wants to satisfy his own lusty desires, Krishna will handle the situation so that the devotee forgets his lusty desires and becomes fully purified and constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. To fulfill his promise, Krishna, along with Uddhava, went to the house of Kubja, who was eager to get Krishna for the satisfaction of her lusty desires. When Krishna reached their house, he saw that it was completely decorated in a way to excite the lusty desires of a man. This suggests that there was many nude pictures, on top of which were canopies and flags embroidered with pearl necklaces, along with comfortable beds and cushioned chairs. The rooms were provided with flower garlands and were nicely scented with incense and sprinkled with scented water, and the rooms were illuminated by nice lamps. When Kubja saw that Lord Krishna had come to her house to fulfill his promise to visit, she immediately got up from her chair to receive him cordially. Accompanied by many girlfriends, she began to talk with him with great respect and honor. After offering him a nice place to sit, she worshipped Lord Krishna in a manner just suitable to her position. Uddhava was similarly received by Kubja and her girlfriends, but did not want to sit on an equal level with Krishna, and thus he simply sat down on the floor. It is said that Uddhava and Krishna were cousins, and they looked very much alike. In many ways, their features were, but in comparison, Uddhava grew up in Mathura, and he was educated. He was well educated in the Shastras, and he had a spiritual master named, yes, Brihaspati. Brihaspati is the guru for all the demigods. Indra, there's many pastimes of Indra in the Bhagavatam also, and Brihaspati, like that. So Brihaspati, so as a result of that, Uddhava was very intelligent, and he knew all the Shastras. Whereas Krishna was considered being brought up he was uneducated. He didn't know how to read or write. So this is but later when Krishna wanted Uddhava to come to Vrindavan, although Uddhava was, we call a jnani. A jnani means like academic who has knowledge, but he has no devotion. Many people read Bhagavad Gita from a point of academic study, isn't? But they have no. Because what is Krishna saying? Krishna wants us to become devotees. He wants us to surrender to him. That's the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. But no, they take that as a mental exercise, gymnastics. They become well versed. Yeah, they may know all the verses, but they don't have that surrendering spirit. Many. They see it from academic point of view. But Uddhava, Krishna wanted Uddhava to come to learn from the gopis about devotional service. Although the gopis weren't educated, they didn't know anything. What 1 + 1 or 2 + 2, or history or geography. Or no, they were just village girls. But they knew one thing, how to please Krishna, and surrendered to Krishna at the sound of his flute. They were there spontaneously, without any cares, without any worries, just spontaneously run to Krishna. So that is a big gulf of difference. When one is surrendered to Krishna, you will spontaneous service to Krishna. But they were feeling this separation. The separation from, although Krishna was with them till he was a certain age and he had left them, and they were feeling this immense, from Mother Yasoda to Nanda, the whole Brajavasis were feeling this separation. Because Krishna gave them so much pleasure. Even Radharani was experiencing that separation, and is described Vipralamba, means this separation. There's two parts, meeting and separation. Sambhog means meeting and having association, personal association, and Vipralamba, serving in separation. So we also feel that, we also experience that as devotees, as disciples of spiritual masters that we don't see all the time. So whenever we have the association, we relish that, we treasure that, we're there for the direct association. And when they're not there, we feel that immense, especially when they're out of the planet, when they're not physically present, we feel even more separation like that. But the Guru is also, there's Vani and there's Vapu. There's Vani means the instruction, and Vapu means the physical presence. Like Srila Prabhupada is not here anymore, he's out, he's not present, but he's very much alive in his Vani. This is the instruction. Prabhupada has left a legacy that we can associate with Prabhupada. We can offer him Harti. We can chant his glories like that. Same, Krishna is here present in his deity form, Murti, Archa Vigraha form. In Kali Yuga, he comes in this form. He sees the people are very fallen, manda, lazy. They are fallen. How will they understand such intricate knowledge of Krishna when they have lusty desires or full of material desires? How will they understand? So Krishna comes, or he sends empowered representatives, the acharyas, or the incarnations of the Lord. They come for that purpose, to reinvigorate or reinstate Dharma, so that we can come up to a level of actually being the human form of life, acting on the platform of the human form of life. And that is most important, how we use this human form of life. And Krishna has given us so many wonderful instructions through the Bhagavad Gita, through the Srimad Bhagavatam, through the example of his devotees, by their lessons, like we're hearing about serving, Kubja. Just by absorbing all these, we learn to serve also in a way that Krishna will appreciate us. And Krishna doesn't want some extravagant kind of, like we may perform some ritualistic ceremonies to worship demigods and very grand kind of, and spend lots. No, Krishna is very simple. What Krishna wants. He says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. What is that? Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Offer me water, fruit, flower. And he says in the singular, a fruit, a flower, not according to our means. That means even the most poorest, even a child, can offer to Krishna with full, he says, bhakti uparitam, with love. So we are seeing Kubja, although she had some, but intention was to love Krishna, or genuine love for Krishna. So even we should not feel deterred. We have material desires. We cannot deny that. Everyone has desires. Krishna is saying in Lord Chaitanya, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam, Atahi Vashanta. Krishna Bhakta Nishkam. He says, the devotee of Krishna is always peaceful. Why? Because he's free from material desires. He's not agitated by any material desires. And he says, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakaliyash. Those who want some material wealth or some mystic perfection, like the yogis, or those who want nice to enjoy kama, lust, sense gratification, liberation, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakaliyash, they are never peaceful because they want. And the material world is like that, isn't it? We cannot satiate our material desires. We cannot. And because of that, we have to come back lifetime after lifetime to fulfill those desires. If we didn't accomplish them in this lifetime, we have to come back again, isn't it, to fulfill those desires. So that is the discrepancy or the futility. That is a wasted human life. And Krishna doesn't want that. He doesn't want us to suffer like that. He wants us back home, back to Him. Like this old Krishna book is the mood of Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan. And we can still go today to Vrindavan, Boma Vrindavan. That's the representative, or the, what should I say? What's the word they use? What's the word? If you're going to another country, but that embassy. The what? Embassy. Embassy is like, you're not in that country, but you have an embassy here in South Africa. So when you enter it, you are just as good as being. So you go to the American embassy. The moment you enter that, you are within the confines of the embassy. So likewise, when Krishna came to this earthly planet with his entourage, he came with the whole spiritual world. Boma, earthly Vrindavan. And it's non-different. Non-different. But we have to have the eyes to see. Premanjana Churita Vito Vilocha Naina. Brahma is saying like that. Eyes have to become the salve of love, purified, to see Krishna. Not that we go there to see Krishna in every corner we will see. No. There's a nice, I was reading this, by the Goswamis. And Prabhupada speaks about how they were, how surrendered they were. The Goswamis, they were also, when they were in Vrindavan, they never said that I have seen Krishna, although they were the most perfect. They never said that I have seen Krishna. Their prayers were like this. Hey Radhe, Vraja Devike. Hey Radhe, Vraja Devike, Chalalite. Hey Nanda, Suno Kuta. It's a beautiful prayers. The Goswami Astakam. You should learn it. Very beautiful prayer. Prabhupada is quoting here. Hey Radhe, they're referring to Radharani. Hey Radhe, Vraja Devi Kecha. Radharani does not remain alone. Radha is always accompanied by she has a set of gopis also, isn't it? Sakis. There's like a rivalry. Krishna has his and Radharani has theirs. There's a kind of, but the rivalry is who can please the most. So there's some rivalries there. Yes. She remains always with her friends, Raja Devi, Lalita, Vishaka, and other damsels of Vrindavan. So the Goswamis were praying in the mature stage. When they were living in Vrindavan, they were praying in this way. Hey Radhe Vraja Devi Kei Chalalite. Hey Nanda Suno. Nanda Suno means the son of Nanda Maharaj. Kuta, where? Where are you? They were asking. Radharani, where are you? Where are your associates? Where are you, Nanda Suno, the son of Nanda Maharaj? They were actually making, although they were very enlightened souls, they didn't say, although they were qualified. And Prabhupada says about We will read about that. They were searching after. They never said, I've seen Krishna dancing with the gopis. Sometimes we hear people say, I had a dream of Krishna dancing, or I saw Krishna in my dream. Last night I saw, I've seen Krishna dancing with the gopis. Last night I saw, and there's laughter, Krishna dancing with the gopis. This is sajya. What? Say? Sajya means, this is not mature or cheap. They are called sajya, they take everything very cheap. Krishna very cheap, Radharani very cheap. As if they can see every night. No. The Goswamis do not teach us like that. They searching after, Hey Radhe Vajadevi Ke Chalalite. Hey Nanda Suno Kuta. Sri Govardhana Pa Da Patale Kalindi Vanye Kuta. How are you there under the Govardhan hill or on the banks of the Jamuna? Kalindi Vanye Kuta. Go Shantaviti Sarvato Vrajopure Kedai Maha Vivalo. Their business was crying like this. Where you are, Radharani. Where are you, Lalita, Vishaka? The associates of Radharani. Where you are, Krishna? You are near Govardhan Hill, or you're on the bank of the Jamuna. They're questioning like that. Go Shantaviti Sarvata Vrajapure. So throughout the whole tract of Vrindavan, they were crying and searching after them. Kedai Mahavivalo. As if madmen. Kedai Mahavivalo. One day, Rupa Sanata Rago, Sijiva Gopalago. So we offer our respects to such great personalities, Rupa and the 6 Goswamis. And Prabhupada is saying, so we have to follow in the footprints of the Goswamis, how to search out Krishna and Radharani, Vrindavana, within your heart. That is the process of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's bhajan, feeling of separation, vipralamba seva. And we know Lord Chaitanya came in that mood, isn't of Srimati Radharani. To experience Krishna, to come in the mood of Srimati Radharani in the form of Lord Chaitanya, to experience Radharani's bhav for him. He could not, as Krishna, he could not fathom, he could not comprehend an intense love for him. She could not. So he had to come as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in that mood. The more you feel separation from Krishna, you should understand that you are advancing. Don't try to see Krishna artificially. Be advanced in separation, feeling, and then it will be perfect. That is the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Because without material eyes, we cannot see Krishna. Without material eyes, we cannot see Krishna. Prabhupada quotes from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, very famous verse. Hatasi Krishna Namadi. Na bhaved graham indrihai. With our material senses, we cannot see Krishna. We cannot hear about Krishna's names. But Sevan Mukha I Jivado. Sevan Mukha I Jivado. Jiva, the tongue. When you engage yourself in the service of the Lord, where the service begins, where does it begin? Jivado, with the tongue. The service begins from the tongue, not from the legs, eyes, or ears. It begins from the tongue. Sevan Mukha I Jivado. If you begin service through your tongue, how? How? Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the tongue is used for two, to chant the holy names and to taste Krishna Prasad. Take Krishna Prasad. The tongue has got two, Prabhupada is saying. Two business, to articulate sound, Hare Krishna, and take prasadam. Or we could use the tongue for preaching, isn't it? Or speak about Bhagavatam, speak about Krishna, speak about the devotees. This process By this process, you will realize Krishna. Yes, not by think I can see Krishna every. No, that is not. Prabhupada says, don't try to see Krishna. You cannot see Krishna with your material eyes. Neither you can hear about him with your material ears. Neither you can touch. If you engage your tongue in the service of the Lord, then he'll reveal himself to you, here I am. That is wanted. So feel separation of Krishna, just like Radharani, as Lord Chaitanya teaches us, and engage your tongue in the service of the Lord. Then one day, when you are mature, you'll see Krishna face to face, eye to eye, eyeball to eyeball. Haribol. So, how much time we got? I just want to conclude with one verse from the 3rd canto, Bhagavatam. This is between Vidura and Uddhava. This is after Krishna had winded up his pastimes, and the Yadu dynasty was annihilated, Krishna's own family. They fought amongst themselves, and Krishna arranged for them to kill each other and live, wind up his pastimes like that. So when Uddhava heard about this, he was so kind of course everybody, Krishna's separation, even Yudhishthira, Arjuna, all of them were very sad. Kunti, they were very close to Krishna. And all of a sudden Krishna's left. The planet is no more around. It's gone. So Uddhava is remembering, this chapter is called Remembrance of Lord Krishna. And wonderful verses here. But this one is most captivating. Third canto, chapter 2, text 23. Anybody remembers this verse? It goes like this. Aho bakiham stanakala kutam jigyam apayayayad apasadva sadvi lebegatim datri uchitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam brajema. The translation of Uddhava is in meditation like that. He's thinking about the Lord. Alas, he's saying, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to the she-demon Putana, although she was unfaithful, and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. So this is Krishna's mercy. Even to the most who come with such agendas to kill him, Krishna, he reciprocates with them. Yeyatamam prapadyanti. According, if you come as an enemy, Krishna will also reciprocate like that. You come to fight with him, he will reciprocate like that. Yeah, Prabhupada says in the purport, here is an example of the extreme mercy of the Lord. Even to his enemy, it is said that a noble man accepts the good qualities of a person of doubtful character, just as one accepts nectar from a stalk of poison. In his babyhood, he was administered deadly poison by Putana. I spoke about this earlier. She, the she-demon, would try to kill the wonderful baby. And because she was a demon, it was impossible for her to know the Supreme Lord, even though playing the part of a baby was no less than the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. His value as the Supreme Lord did not diminish upon his becoming a baby to please his devotee, Yasoda. The Lord may assume the form of a baby or a shape other than that of a human being, but it doesn't make the slightest difference. He is always the same Supreme. A living creature, however powerful he may be, because by dint of severe penance, can never become equal to the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna accepted the motherhood of Putana because she pretended to be an affectionate mother, allowing Krishna to suck a breast. The Lord accepts the least qualification of living entity and awards him the highest reward. That is the standard of his character. Therefore, who but the Lord can be the ultimate shelter. So this was amazing praise by Uddhava. And Uddhava also was very favored by Krishna in so many ways. But Uddhava, I'll read about his pastime when he was born. Uddhava is described as the most exalted personality in the Vrishni dynasty, almost equal to Krishna. He was a great friend, and an account of being the direct student of Brihaspati, the teacher and priest of the heavenly planet. He was very intelligent and sharp in decision. From the intellectual standpoint, he was highly qualified. Krishna, being a very loving friend of Uddhava, wanted to send him to Vrindavan just to study the highly elevated ecstatic devotional service practiced there. Even if one is highly elevated in material education and is even the disciple of Brihaspati, he still has to learn from the gopis and the residents of Vrindavan how to love Krishna to the highest degree. Sending Uddhava to Vrindavan with a message to the residents of Vrindavan to pacify them was Krishna's special favor to Uddhava. So Uddhava had to come on his behalf. Lord Krishna's name is Hari, which means one who takes away all the distress from the serenade souls. What was Uddhava's reason to come? He said when Nanda Maharaj, before he left, he promised to bring Krishna back to Vrindavan. Nanda Maharaj returned to Vrindavan without Krishna and Balaram. He was accompanied only by the cowherd boys and men. It was certainly a very pathetic scene for the gopis, Mother Yashoda and Srimati Radharani. All the inhabitants and residents of Vrindavan. Many devotees have tried to make adjustments to Krishna's being away from Vrindavan because, according to expert opinion, Krishna, the original Supreme Person of Godhead, never goes even a step out of Vrindavan. He always remains there. The explanation of expert devotees that Krishna was actually not absent from Vrindavan. He came back with Nanda Maharaj as promised. When he was going to Mathura on the chariot driven by Krura, and the gopis were practically blocking his way, Krishna assured them that he was coming back just after finishing his business in Mathura. He told them not to be overwhelmed, and in that way he pacified them. But when he did not come back with Nanda Maharaj, it appeared that he either cheated them or could not keep his promise. Expert devotees, however, have decided that Krishna was neither a cheater nor a breaker of promises. Krishna, in the original identity, returned with Nanda Maharaj and stayed with the gopis and Mother Yashoda in his bhav expansion. Krishna and Balaram remained in Mathura, not in the original forms, but in the expansions of Vasudeva. They took the forms of, or they expanded themselves into different forms. Vasudeva and Sankirtan. The real Krishna and Balaram were in Vrindavan in their Bhav manifestation, whereas in Mathura they appeared in the Prabhav or Vaibhav expansions. This is the expert opinion of advanced devotees of Krishna. But when Nanda Maharaj was preparing to return to Vrindavan, there was discussion among them, and Krishna and Balaram as to how the boys could live in separation from Nanda. Conclusion to separate was reached by mutual agreement. Vasudeva and Devaki happened to be Krishna and Balaram's real parents. They wanted to keep them. Now, because of the death of Kamsa, while Kamsa was alive, they were kept under the protection of Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavan. Now, naturally, the father and mother of Krishna and Balaram wanted them to remain with them, specifically for the reformatory function of purification, the sacred thread ceremony. They didn't have, because they were in prison, they could not perform all this that normally done for their own children. They also wanted to give them a proper education. They never went to school. So only this, after they came back, did they go to Gurukul. They were well in, so Krishna was like 10 years old then, when he went to Gurukul. They also wanted to give them a proper education, for this is the duty of the father. Another consideration was that all the friends of Kamsa outside Mathura were planning to attack Mathura. For the reason also Krishna's presence was required. Krishna did not want Vrindavan to be disturbed by enemies like Dantavaktra and Jaisacinandana. If Krishna were to go to Vrindavan, these enemies would not only attack Mathura, but would go to Vrindavan, and the peaceful inhabitants of Vrindavan would be disturbed. Krishna therefore decided to remain in Mathura, and Nanda Maharaj went back to Vrindavan. All the inhabitants of Vrindavan were feeling separation from Krishna. Krishna was always present with them by his leela or pastimes, and this made them ecstatic. So we still experience that, isn't we? Hearing this Krishna's appearance is coming soon, and we reenact these pastimes through drama and plays, isn't? Oh, Krishna stealing butter, Krishna being chastised by, all these are still very much alive. Krishna is very much alive. He's present. Krishna never leaves. And this can be given of the analogy of the sunshine. The sun is always in the sky, whether it's dark or it never leaves. It's always in its orbit, isn't? So likewise, Krishna is always there. He's in some performing, he's appearing somewhere in the universe. Right now, he may be appearing as Lord Ramachandra. This is like a road show. Isn't it like the circus comes to town for a few weeks and then winds up and goes to another town? Like that, like an ongoing road show. So Krishna's pastimes are, they are Nitya Leela, they are eternal, they are ongoing. So it's not like historical. Krishna was a historical figure, like that. So some academics try to see Krishna like that. No, for the devotees, he's alive, he's there, he's there. We see him every day, we dress him, we feed him, we make beautiful outfits, garlands. There's reciprocation. And this is what is wonderful between the Lord and his devotees. This reciprocation, love. Since Krishna departed from Vrindavan to Mathura, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, especially Mother Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj, Srimati Radharani, the gopis and the cowherd boys, were simply thinking of Krishna at every step. They were thinking Krishna was playing in this way, Krishna was blowing his flute, Krishna was joking with us, Krishna was embracing us. This is called Leela Smaran. Smaran means remembering these pastimes. Leela Smaran, associating Krishna when he was at Puri. Those who are in the most exalted position of devout servants in ecstasy can live with Krishna always by remembering his pastimes. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given us a translated literature entitled Krishna Bhavanam Rita, which is full of Krishna's pastimes. Devotees can remain absorbed in Krishna thought by reading such books. Any book of Krishna Lila, even this book Krishna, this Krishna book, Prabhupada encouraged us to read every night, isn't, before we go to bed, so we don't have bad dreams or we don't have nightmares. We'll always remember Krishna like that. Yeah. Janti Mamudha, it says, fools and rascals, they deride Krishna. 9th chapter. Avajanti Mamudha. These are fools and rascals. They deride because they seemingly comes in a human-like form. Nara, his pastimes like Nara Leela. The human-like pastimes. He comes to accept our service. Even when Krishna appeared, where is that? In this form, they could not relate to. When Krishna appeared to them, they could not relate to that form, this four-handed form, Narayan form. And Krishna, to accept he took the form of a baby. We all can relate to babies, isn't it? A normal baby with 2 hands, 2 eyes, like that, Krishna. He reciprocates according to our desires, like that. Yeah, one who understands the nature of my, what is that verse from the 4th chapter? 4:9. Not familiar. 4:9. Nobody? One who understands the nature of my janma and my what? What's it? then the nature of my birth, my transcendental birth, and my qualities, my work shall not take birth again in this material world. One who understands the nature of my appearance and my activities, my janma and my karma, my activities shall not take birth. Janma karma chame divyam evam yovati tatvataha. He's saying to Arjuna, O son of Kunti, one who understands the nature of my birth and my activities shall not take birth again in this material world. So this is the instruction of Krishna, that we become Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna. Krishna book ki jai. Krishna the Supreme Personality of Godhead ki jai. Any questions or comments? Madhuri? Madhurya. She got a beautiful name, Madhurya Kadambini. Isn't? She represents that highest love. Right? Yes. Yes. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much.